A lot of C rush.
2, 1, fight.
Match number 1 though. Paddle base. 125 FPS season 25. So fitting. And just because someone was asking about the player models before, you see people use this particular player model, which is Keel, or Tank Jr. It's another very popular one. Mostly because of the sounds they make, because you can't force the sound that a player model makes, but you can force the way, you can at least choose which one you're going to use. These give off usually the best sounds. It's just one of the easier ones to see as well. That's the only reason why it's used. Ooh, Pavel barely managing to take that out with a mutual. Everything got kind of delayed too off the initial pickups. Nice rocket, that gets rid of the red. Probably would have died anyways. He should be able to get himself onto a yellow before Pavel can punish him. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no problem, Tangy. There's a bunch of, I'll give you a sight real quick. Not 100% up to date, but it's pretty thorough. Those are a bunch of different commands that you can put into your console with Quake Live, and that set gives you a quick rundown of what they all do. Nice mega steal by Base, but really good rockets by Pavel. 3-1. This is Pavel's pick. Base picked Silence, and then our third map is going to be T7. Ooh. Unfortunate. Even more unfortunate to whiff his own rocket jump. But yeah, we'll have Battleforge, Silence, T7. I sent it to myself as a tell so I didn't forget. Elder, then Sinister. Should we need the last 2 maps, that is. Assuming Base doesn't just beast it up and 3-0 Pavel. Even though I want Base to win, Pavel's one of my favorite players too, so kind of a hard call for me to make. I just want to see Base go farther than he has before. He's capable of winning a 125 if he's really on par, I think. Beating Evil on Wednesday, though, should he beat Pavel here, will be really, really hard. Thanks, Cycle. Thanks for following. Pavel's doing a really good job to delay Base. He knows he can't get the red, but the reason he's sticking around here is not only just for damage, but he's delayed long enough that the yellow and the mega are up now. He can go and retreat and gets himself some stack. He also knows Base doesn't have a railgun, so... Gets punished pretty hard, though, off that mega. That's shocking. Oh yeah, Tengy? Welcome to Quake, dude. I played a bunch of TF2 as well. I didn't really play public games, like, at all. But I played a lot of 6v6 as a demo man. A little bit of a roamer, too, sometimes. Melba's got the right idea, though, as far as that huge list that I linked to you. Obviously, you've seen it before. Might have to hold that thought. Yeah. Well, that huge list I sent you? No! Tries to get the plasma jump. Pavel's gonna beat him to it, though. Melba's right. Find an FOV you like, frame of view, find a sensitivity that you like. Make things simple for yourself, use the Keel model, and just... I wouldn't touch too much else. But to get back onto the game, Base has armor advantage really hard here, especially if Pavel can't get himself onto this yellow. Yep, perfect. Base knew it.
5-minute warning.
Your FOV is pretty high. 120 is a very, very, very high frame of view. But if you can play with it, you're used to it, go for it. It's just going to make it harder for non-hit scan. Or I'm sorry, for hit scan weapons. Yeah, don't forget the human aimbot. Good point. Playing ET naked. Come on, base, tie this back up for us. You're my pick for the whole tournament, bro. You gotta do this here. You gotta beat my second favorite player ever. In terms of paddle. Ties it up. Mega behind him. He's got time to get to red. Yep, perfect. Still should beat him there, yeah. Just get lucky he had one more rail slug, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to punish that as well. I guess he could have sent him over the top of it with lightning gun, but great bait out of weapons. And for the first time, base takes lead, 4 minutes left, and really good control. The only thing is, the control that he had the last 2 cycles of the items, it's gonna be lost, because everything comes up right now. Oh, but it's just so ideal killing Pavel right before everything shows. May lose Mega, may lose a yellow. Yeah, Pavel actually kind of forced to back onto that and take all that damage there, because should he choose not to, base is in way too much of a lead for Pavel to do anything, and just 3 minutes left. As you can see, like, you can get a bunch of kills back to back on this map, just with the way the spawns are, but it's getting that first one away from an armored opponent that's going to be so hard for Pavel right now. My #1 favorite player is not actually base, and it's not Cooler. Cooler isn't even in my top 20. I probably just lost a bunch of viewers by saying that, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Cooler as a player. Never really saw the amazement with him, to be honest. Old Cooler maybe, but I'm just talking about like the current Cooler here, because I wasn't around back in his golden years, so. Wow. Oh my god. This unreturned damage. Pavel's missing everything. I'm curious how many Quake fans you actually upset when you say that you don't like Cooler. Someone should do some math on that. I bet it'd be some funny numbers. No, it's not Cypher. I'd say, honestly, I used to say Faz just because he was able to ironically beat Cypher. But my favorite player is not Cypher, and I think it's changed from being Faz, just because when I originally made that decision, that was back in like 2013, now that I've been playing more TDM, I have to say my favorite player, like overall, just with general personality, play skill, and just, I don't know, just whole overall package, not necessarily just this guy wins games, and so that's why I like him, is Fierce. I really wish he'd come back and play, but I think Fierce is probably one of my favorite players. He hasn't played like on a team, which I know I've been talking over this game the whole time, but ever since base got this lead, this has just looked almost impossible for Pavel. This is actually going to be his last chance, so I will talk about Fierce in a sec. That's a kill. So only 2 kills, 45 seconds. He just needs to convert, deny the armor, and with the way that his item timers are set up on the left there, which you can't see by the way, but with the way that those are set up, he'd be able to get yellow. Oh, that rocket was so close. Pavel with the air dodge. He needs to get the kill like 5 seconds ago if he doesn't want this to be too hard for him. Yeah, and I'll call it GG. The best Pavel could even do is tie right now. He'd need to get an instant conversion. No, that's GG. So we'll go on a bases pick with base a map up. move over on to Silence, and just to talk about, yeah, my favorite player is probably Fears. Not because he's, he won the QuakeCon 2009 or the IEM whatever with his team. He actually doesn't really have a whole lot of team history. He plays pickups a lot, or played, I should say, played pickups a lot in TDM, and he just is so creative with the way he plays. This game can run at anywhere from 1 to 250 FPS. But I'd really recommend, man, that if you're gonna play it at 125 or 250. You can do it at 144, like Mel was telling you there, but I don't know. I just like 125 or 250. Just with the way that the game reacts to different things, it's an old game and it's weird. I just stick to that.
Prepare to fight.
Yeah, but your monitor might be 144, but you can still use 250.
1. Fight.
Regardless. Match 2 bases a map up. Pavel gets a really crappy opening. And he will die. Yeah, as like I said before, I was watching Pavel warm up. He didn't look that strong actually today. And base has been looking hot for a while. I really wouldn't be surprised to see this 3-0. Score is already 3-0, but I just mean the overall map score in this best of 5. Solid freaking opening here from the Russian, who I'm rooting for. Both players indeed Russian. 7 ping for base, 22 for Pavel. Nice. Doesn't just stand right on the Mega. He knew his spacing really well for that encounter. Pavel gonna get stuck on the pipes. Oh, can't believe he survived. It's only for a moment. Base showing off that CD auto hop 1. He dies and drops a rail for Pavel. That's nice. One of the more difficult weapons to go and get on this map when your opponent's in control. Ouch. So he's keeping the pressure up after his kill onto base, who we are now back on their point of view from. Pavel just looks desperate now. 3 minutes in, 8 frags down. The only way that you can even say this is still possible is just because there's so much time left, but this is such a big frag lead. And base is no dummy on Silence. Like, I'd say, I talked about this before last time when he was playing in his groups, but Agent, Evil, and Base, yeah. And there's maybe like Kron or someone, I don't know, like there's just a few really good Silence players, and Base is one of them. Like, he had this explosion of frags, but he could just as easily slow us down if he has to. and mouse game. Base doesn't have to do anything except make sure his opponent gets punished for taking items. He's waiting on the yellow to do it. Now he's gonna do it on top of the red. Decent rocket by Pavel, but that was inevitable. Looks like he's probably gonna drop Mega if Pavel's quick, but yeah, drops Mega. How you doing, BD734? More base fans in the house. Yeah. Ho ho. You see that? I didn't see it either, but I heard it. Smacks him with a nice rocket out of telly. Pavel's timing is totally off on this red. He's gonna go down again. 10 frags the difference. 5 minutes to go. Almost knocks him off. The jump pad. How could you not be a fan, man? Very well done. Tangy, what do you mean, like, by punishing items? Okay, well, basically, in Base's situation right here, he just took the yellow. Pavel punishes him for taking the yellow because it's an open area, and he gets a rail on them. Base just punished that teleporter take that Pavel took because it put him open. Taking an item isn't always a good thing because it's like, just for example here, let's say your opponent is directly below you at that red. I know he's not, but let's just say, for example, there was someone below base here. Jumping for that red is a huge risk and a huge danger. So because they end up taking a risk, your opponent is then forced to punish you and try to deal damage onto that item. You can see, you'll notice a theme on a lot of major maps that, like, a lot of maps that the major items, such as the Mega and the red, are typically going to be in areas that are very hard to get in or out of, or both. And so that's why punishing an item is sometimes better than just taking it. Stealing an item would be stealing, you could steal an item and get away and live. Sometimes you may just want to steal an item and die onto it, which is not something I recommend as a new player. But it's something you can get the knack of, and you can steal an item away, die, that way your opponent has even less stack after the counter you just had, therefore giving you time to work something up and get a frag later. Every map plays a little differently in regards to how it's supposed to be done, and I say supposed to be because I say supposed to be with quotes, which you cannot see me doing, because it's very hard to have a finite rule, but that's the general idea. Yeah, understanding just comes with experience. You just have to play more. Watch more. The cosmonaut is awakened. Pavel's rockets, some of the best, defensive and offensive. Pavel's rail, also considered, at least back in the day, to be one of his better weapons. He's fighting for it. I mean, he's got a huge shield decline, but he's fighting for it. He brought it back to 10. With such a big lead, though, Base can just keep taking risks like this, like taking mid-range fights with just rockets in hopes to do damage, because he's just forcing Pavel to keep running at him with how much time is left. And that's momentum killed.
One
Only left with 30 points of health off that kill for base, but the momentum is pretty much gone for Pavel right now. Base still has too much of a lead. He can still do really stupid, crazy things. Like stealing that Mega right there. Probably wouldn't do that if the score was only 2. Tries to get sneaky with the gauntlet. Not gonna happen. At least Pavel played that one out though. We'll go on to Furious Heights. T7. For our third map, and if base wins, he 3-0s Pavel out. Pavel wins, he still is gonna have Silence and Elder. Or sorry, Elder and Sinister. I claimed to be awake before, but I think it was all just a giant lie. Captain Amigo, just waste your teenage years playing Duel.
Vote
For 10 years.
passed.
Hell yeah. Not CA. Friends don't let friends play with loadouts. True friends don't let friends play with loadouts. Only you can prevent Pi Timer abuse. Pi Timer abuse. So we'll check Pavel off the spawn here. Whenever they get going. He's down 2 maps. You like loadouts? Telling you, man, friends do not let friends play with loadouts. Real arena FPS, no loadouts. But it's a good way for you to start. If it's in Clan Arena, honestly, like the loadout system in Clan Arena isn't what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the TDM, and I guess you could play dual loadouts. Supposedly, you'd have to change things, but I just mean like where you pick a weapon to start with. That's indeed cancer. It's not like it's not how the game should be played. Like the game shouldn't. You see those ammo boxes there? You know, the ammo boxes scattered all over the map. You shouldn't have infinite ammo with those items, and you do with the way that the loadout system works, because you can pick a gun. Yeah, you only get half ammo, but every single ammo pack on the map refills all of your guns, and they respawn every like 10 seconds instead of every 40 or something. A loadout system is essentially it's a broken crutch in my mind. If you're a new player and you're enjoying it, and it's just making you play Quake with loadouts, then I have nothing bad to say about it. If it's actually brought you into the game, then that's cool, but it's considered terrible by veterans. So, takes the Quake out of Quake. There you go, Tarnus. Loadouts take the Quake out of Quake.
Prepare
If you want to
fight.
practice weapons, Tangy, play Clan Arena, and then Duel, like a combination of them.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Map 3, Pavel base. Base up 2 maps. Very, very typical T7 opening here. One player with the lightning gun. And Mega gonna just drop immediately onto base. He did pick up rail in the first red. Does a sick job with his rockets there. Good use of sound, make sure he doesn't die stupidly after that nice kill. Health himself back up, get himself a lightning gun. And yeah, he should have this red, no problem. Or Pavel's gonna make another ballsy push into this red room. Trying to be a little fancy with his footwork. Doesn't let him live, but that's about it. Base is gonna be pretty stacked up here. If Pavel challenges for this mega, he's insane. To take any more than even just a single rail shot. There's the one. I say he leaves. He doesn't need to delay him just a few more seconds though, so that he can get this red cleanly. So I guess sticking around is going to be fine if he can survive it. Yep, does just that. Goes, grabs himself red. It's a little too eager trying to get this other yellow though. Ooh, and that's 2 rails into his face. Rockets to his feet. Second kill for base. I think base is just too strong for Pavel. It's just all games. Battle Forge was pretty close at the beginning. Pavel took an early lead. This one's still within Pavel's capability to win. It's not like Silence where it just exploded into a bunch of frags for base, but I think base is too strong for Pavel right now. He's just looking too good. Sick bait. He's been Base is the best person to set traps up with, by the way. He has a surprise bind. Classy. 5-0. Pavel making some pretty questionable choices with his rocket fights. I mean, if he wins there, he gets mega. But he does go down again. Base is trying to bait him out with some noise. Not gonna happen. Reason it's a big deal too is, again, base is up 2 maps. It's a best of 5, so Pavel goes down here, that's base winning. And then we'll go on to Proximo and Claws, which is our second match today. I'd like to see some more maps with the Cosmonaut here, Mr. Pavel. It would be Elder next. Rail slugs for base is going to make this kind of a weird fight, but no rail slugs for him is also just going to mean that he just has to avoid more damage. Pavel, nice read. There you go. He knows Mega's gone, he's just going to chill. Actually, screw it. Freaking player. I don't really care if anyone else sees it. We got ops here. I can kick him out. So, now that I've been completely distracted by Proximo, whose plan it must have been to get Pavel onto the board while I was distracted and not giving base my cheerleader cheers. Yeah, no problem, Prox. Pavel's come up 2 frags. Plenty of control. Plenty of time. There's always time for air rockets. Always time to miss your rails at key moments. Oh, poor Pavel. It's gonna get eaten up again by base's rockets. So, cool news is that now that Proximo's on here, Claus is already here, we shouldn't have any delay getting into the next game, like there was this morning with the base and Pavel start. Hey, what's up, regular hero? Yeah, I mean, if base wins this, whoever wins this will go on to play against Evil on Wednesday. And, like, that's a hard... Basically, you're being told you have to go play against the person who got second place at QuakeCon, and the person who has won a ton of these 125 FPS online leagues. So it's a tall order for anyone. I kind of wish base had to play against, like, Agent, but his seeding wasn't, the same. So he will have to play against Evil if he wins this match. You know, I'll have to excuse me for a sec. My back has been killing me ever since I got up, and I actually think I pulled it. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I know, pulled back doesn't even sound right. Ugh, but it hurts. It hurts a lot. I'll live.